We are the students from大直高中, and we are very excited to present for you guys today. Here I have a bottle, and let's say this bottle was filled with all the water on earth. Well, actually, only this small amount of water that you see down here is the water that we can drink. And I feel kind of thirsty now, so I'm just going to drink it.
Wait, I also want to drink it.
Me too!
Oh no! This is the fight for water that we are going to talk about today. We drink and use water every day, and everyone knows that we cannot live without water. However, do you really understand the water on Earth? On the surface of the Earth, about 3/4 of the area is covered by the ocean. However, nearly 97% is salt water, which means it contains lots of salt. Fresh water, on the other hand, accounts for only 2.5%. Since we have only a very small amount of fresh water, where does fresh water go? According to a research, 70% of fresh water is used in agriculture. That is, we use it on farms, orchards, gardens, and so on. Meanwhile, another 22% of fresh water is used for generating electricity, refining fossil fuels, producing various products like canned food and the clothes that we are wearing every day. Finally, only 8% of fresh water is for family use, such as cooking, cleaning, taking shower, and drinking water. Water is the source of all life forms, including our human being. In fact, our human body is made up of 56 to 60% of water. However, do you really understand how important the water is to our body? First of all, water is very useful in transporting nutrients, boosting metabolism, regulating body temperature, lubricating our joints, maintaining skin elasticity, and discharging the waste of body. Actually, we can live without eating for 3 days, but we cannot live without drinking any water for 3 days. So, now we can understand how important the water is. Since the beginning of last century, industrial development and surging population has increased our demand for fresh water, which turns water resources into an extremely important global issue. Every country is facing different problems of water resources, and how to use water resources is an issue that both you and I should really care about. So, the next speaker on our team, Catherine, will talk about the problems that we are facing now.
Hello, I'm Catherine from Dazi Senior High School. Today, I'm going to share some facts about water resources in China. Huangpujiang, which across Shanghai and Changjiang, had a ford north of China's water resources over many years. The upstream of it is called Taihu, and about 72% of waters come from Taihu. However, in the need of economic development and water pollution isn't well controlled, Taihu is getting dirtier and dirtier. Taihu used to be a very beautiful river, but of the pollutions, Taihu is getting dirtier than before. Even mitten crabs, 大闸蟹, which live on it, can no longer survive. And I have no idea how people who live from north of China can even survive either. And it is higher than grade 3. China has divided water pollution into 5 grades. The grade lower than grade 3 shows that it is drinkable and can use it to fisheries. And grade 3 is the baseline of drinkable waters. The grade which is higher than grade 3 shows that it isn't drinkable and it is polluted seriously. It is water footprint of China's. Water footprint shows that if the line is thicker, it means it has more waters. If the line is thinner, which is it has less waters. And it seems that China's water is not uniform. It makes poor regions such as Hebei, Xinjiang, and Neimenggu. Government thinks that they have less people, so they need less waters. So they use their waters to use it to other regions. However, the phenomenon of water is not uniform, is getting more serious. According to Science Dailies, it shows that it didn't solve the problems. It just shifts the pressures to the another water scarce region. And the next concept I would like to share with you is virtual waters. Virtual water is not real because it is virtual. It is also called the embedded waters, refers to the hidden flow used to transfer goods from one place to another. And it needs 1,600 cubic meters of virtual waters to produce 1 metric tons of wheat. And second, it can track where the virtual water goes and how much the virtual water is needed for transporting. And last, it can record the account for satellites to use it to economic development and liberalizations. By doing so, maybe China's water resources can be more balanced and less natural disasters to take place. And the next speaker is Daniel, which he will talk about how to use water properly.
Alright, so now that we've got all this information about water, what should we actually be doing? Well, I want to share with you a few solutions that people have come up with. And when we're talking about solutions, there's 3 main factors we want to keep in mind. First off, we want to talk about that you saw in the bottle we only had a little bit of water that we could drink. So we want to make sure we really keep this water safe and try not to pollute it more. Secondly, we need to try to lower our consumption of water, try to use less water. And that can be by reusing water, for example. In our world, we have an ecological system where when it rains, the water falls into the ground, it falls into the sea, and then it evaporates. And it's all a system that goes around. But humans, they don't have this system. We are consuming much more water than we have. And that's, of course, not good. Third of all, we want to try to, because the bottle was filled with water, but we could only use a little bit of it. But what if we could use all of the water? So we want some innovations that can access more water. It could be like the dirty water, the salty water. And I want to share with you one company. They did this. It's called LifeStraw. They created a straw that allows you to drink dirty water from a lake, just like shown in the picture. And the way they do this is they have a filter inside. And can you imagine what implications this could have? For example, in Africa, where there's not that much clean water, the problem they're facing is that it's quite expensive to make. But one day, hopefully, they will come with a cheaper solution that will be available for everyone. And this is just one example. Other companies, they're trying to reuse water, and they're looking at everyday household items, like washing machines, like the shower, or toilets. Toilets is something that we use every day up to 3 times. And did you know that actually every time you press the button, on average 6 liters of water goes out the drain? And this water is actually the same water we use to wash our hands, so it's clean. And unless you are a royal family, I don't think your poop needs to be clean. But that's just my opinion, of course. So some people, they have come with some solutions. For example, this, for men. where you use the same water to wash your hands to clean the toilet. And if you're a woman, you think, this is not for me. Well, we got you covered too. This is another solution for women. And it's just a few ways to show that these types of innovations are what's bringing us and what's shaping the future. And if you don't have the money to afford a toilet, that's okay. I want to talk about now what things you can do as a person. Because often when we have these very big problems, we think, oh, I'm just a small guy, I can't really do anything. Whatever I do, it's not going to change. But actually, what you can do is you can support funds where people are using their lives to try and solve this problem. I want to mention one fund, very recognized. It's called One Drop. They've already raised over $1 million, and they do this by supporters just like you guys who believe they can make a small change. But even if you think that's too much, there's things you can do in your household that will greatly benefit you as well. So in your house, we don't really think about the water we use. If we do, there's actually a lot of places where we can save water. Like when we're taking showers, we could go out 5 minutes earlier. When we're washing our dishes, we just try to do it faster. And really what you need is just to keep in mind that, oh, if I'm trying to save water, then I'm having a good impact on the world. And if you don't really care about the environment, which you should of course, then another benefit is that you also save money. And everybody likes money. So there's all this to it. And in reality, our humanity is kind of going down this steep hill where we're polluting our water, it's getting worse and worse. But what I think we need to do is we need to step back and we need to clean the mess that we made earlier, like with the water. We need to clean that mess and then start over again. Because in reality, it's actually not just the fight for water, it's actually the fight for our Earth. Thank you very much.